Parents often raise their voices at their kids when the situation gets a bit frustrating, but could it be detrimental? To yell or not to yell? That is the question many parents ponder. Raising children is an art that's hard to master, with experts suggesting radically different approaches that seemingly change every day. But can yelling at your kids actually harm them? Some research has been emerging that says raising your voice at your children may be as damaging as physical abuse. How bad can this age-old parenting tool really be? And where do we draw the line? Parenting experts Dr.Deborah Gilboa and Emmy McCready join us now. And I want to thank you both for being here because you have slightly different perspectives on this. And Emmy, I want to start with you. Is it ever okay for a parent to yell at their kid?
Well, yelling should only be used in situations of, extreme danger, when you really need to get their attention. Yelling should never be our go-to discipline strategy because it doesn't work to change behavior long term. Otherwise, parents wouldn't be yelling at their kids over and over for the same thing. But as it said in the piece, there's new research that shows that the effects of yelling can actually be as harmful as that of spanking.
So you're saying if their child is running out into traffic or trying to touch fire, yell in that situation, but aside from extreme situations like that, yelling is a no-go.
It is a no-go, and You're right. When you need to get their attention, you yell and you yell loud. But what happens is that if we're yelling all the time, kids become parent deaf, meaning they tune us out. So when we need to get their attention, we kind of train them that they don't have to listen until we yell, because then they know we're really serious.
But that puts us in this spot of saying to parents, it's as dangerous to yell at kids as it is to hit kids. That tells me two things as a parent. That means if I yell, I've failed. It's like I'm beating my kids. And that's just not true. And it also sets me up as a parent to feel like, well, I'm super frustrated with this child and I already yelled at them, I might as well give them that spanking. And that's also not reasonable because we know that spanking is damaging pretty much every single time, and we don't know that yelling is dangerous every single time.
Yeah, and I think, don't you think it comes down to frequency and intensity? So every parent on the planet yells from time to time. But if you find that you're yelling every day, multiple times a week, and then those interactions are angry and intense, I think that's where we have to look at it and say, okay, is this having harmful effects on our kids? And is it really working to change the behavior?
But to say yelling is as bad as physical abuse, I want to talk about that a little bit because to me, it seems like there's a difference, but if you're thinking that yelling at your kids when they were younger was the same as hitting them.
I didn't think that way at all, but to their point, then when I did break down a little bit and yell, I did feel bad about it. Like I could have handled that in a better way.
But that's a great opportunity because we do mess up as parents. And so when we yell at our kids, then what happens? Well, two things. They learn. Sometimes people yell and you don't have to crumble, because if I never ever yell at my kid, then they get out in the world and a coach or a teacher or somebody else's parent or a boss yells at them, probably doesn't spank them, but yells at them, and this way they go, oh yeah, this happens. Right? It's not necessarily me, or, right, okay, maybe they'll apologize, maybe they won't, but they'll have the skills to handle it, of getting yelled at, but also, I get to apologize to my kid. When I handle something badly, whatever it is, if I told a story they didn't want me to tell in front of someone else, and they were upset about that, or I yelled at them because I lost it a little bit, we get the practice and the modeling of the resilience of apologizing and reconciling, and how are my kids gonna learn that if I don't allow myself to be human ever?
Yeah. And again, all parents are going to yell from time to time, and I love using that opportunity as a teaching moment for your kids when you do mess up. So I think the way we handle misbehavior, as I said, week in and week out, that really teaches them how they're going to communicate and deal with difficult situations as they arise.
Absolutely. And I think overall, when it comes to kids, yelling is overutilized, but I don't know that a lot of parents will be able to give it up altogether. It's like, put the toy down, put the toy down, put the toy down, put the toy down. And and that third one, when you raise the voice, finally they put the toy down. But I think also what you yell is very important. So if you're yelling, put that toy down, that's different from saying, put that toy down, you whatever person, like something derogatory.
Well,